Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays Spelunky. It's been a little while. Hey, Kate, let's be honest here. It hasn't been a little while since I played Spelunky, but it's been a little while since I recorded new Spelunky because I had such a huge backlog of Spelunky dating back to like when I first got the game. I have 70 hours in the PC version already. By the time you're actually watching this video, I'll probably have like 169 hours, which is a much more magical number. Is there an object that I can throw down here? There's like a skull up here, but I don't know, it's tricky. But yeah, I've been playing a ton of Spelunky lately. I just haven't been recording all of it, because at some point, you know, it gets to be ridiculous. You have too much of a backlog, and then you're like, well, I had this great run. Seriously? I had this great run 8 weeks ago, but now it hasn't been posted yet. But anyway, neither here nor there. I was away at PAX this weekend just to give you some context for when this video was taking place. And you might think that I'm about to say, you know, like I normally say with Isaac, it's been like 6 days since I played Spelunky. This is not the case. Kate picked up Spelunky on Vita, and I played the bejesus out of it at PAX, so I should be fully warmed up here. Even while we were waiting in line for a game, I managed to get to Yama. I didn't beat Yama, which was a great personal tragedy for myself. That being said, I guess the excuse that I'll offer for myself if I do poorly is that I'm used to the Vita screen and the Vita controls, which were, you know, fairly difficult to get used to. But actually, in my mind at least, I feel like I should have an advantage here because, you know, bigger screen, bigger controller. I've got bigger hands, I think, than the Vita accommodates nicely, even though it is a great version of the game. Seriously, you know, no negatives I can really offer about the Vita version of the game. It's great to have Spelunky on the go. The only negative is that sometimes on the ice caves and in hell, it gets a little bit framey, but, you know, it's a small price to pay. I'm going to totally pick up the bomb box here, by the way. The buttons are a little different, too. They use, since there's not two shoulder buttons, and I use the Xbox 360 controller to play normally, it's a little weird. On Vita, they use R to run, and then L to buy things from the shop and exit. So I hope that doesn't kill me. Sometimes you do need to move very quickly to, like, evade a ghost or something like that. But anyway, suffice it to say, Spelunky runs that I remember, anyway, from the recorded batches have been a little iffy. Some of them have been fantastic. Some of them have been not so great. I'm hoping to rectify that a little bit. Please tell me the key. Yeah, okay. So we're going to have to spend more bombs than I like here. How do we get in? Oh my god. Okay, I guess we use 2 bombs and a rope like up here. Thank god we got the bomb box. This is not a daily challenge, by the way. This is just your standard everyday adventure mode in Isaac. And hopefully, this is one of the worst seeds I think I've ever seen for a key, in all honesty. The good news is, you know, we spent 2 bombs, which sucks, but we also are going to get Monty out of it. That's the first time I've ever seen the Ujat Eye pop out of the chest, as opposed to just like end up in your inventory. That was super weird. I've never seen that before. A lot of weird things have been happening to me in Spelunky lately. Things that I've never seen before. I thought at first it was just a weird quirk of the Vita version, but we'll see, I guess. Maybe there's been some kind of update or something that I haven't seen. Like, for example, oh, altar, that's awesome. For example, there have been a couple times when, like, shopkeepers have gotten angry for no discernible reason, and most of the time I just take it as, like, those are both fired, thank God. Mostly I just take it as, like, oh, maybe, like, a blue snake spit on a shopkeeper or something, and that's fine. But like, there were no blue snakes around, there were no carcasses, the shopkeeper was merely selling a dog, and the kicker is that the shopkeeper didn't say, like, terrorists or anything like that. He just said, hey, you can't do that, which I don't think I've ever seen before. It almost is like, that was really scary, and very stupid of me to rush through that, but it was almost like someone stole something from him, but it couldn't have possibly been me. I don't know. It was weird. Maybe someone invaded my game and effed up the shopkeepers for me. In any case, all of this is neither here nor there. I would really love to be able to sacrifice Monty, but we're at the point where I need to spend like 3 ropes and it looks like a bomb as well. Maybe even multiple bombs to be able to sacrifice him. As much as I hate to do this, I am going to have to try something a little funky there. And you know what? I will use another bomb here. This is why you buy a lot of bombs. Hopefully this gives us access to everything in here, including the treasure chest. I was also hoping that there was another compartment very close to it. Oh, come on. There's a live bomb in there? Actually, might be... I was going to say it might be a good thing. In some ways, it was a good thing because we picked up another sapphire, but the remnants of the chest hit us, unfortunately. So we're really low on money right now. Having completed 3 floors, the only real positive is that we have the Ujat Eye. Well, you know, there's other positives. We have 5 health. That's a reasonable positive. The only time I got hit was in a situation that I wouldn't necessarily say was beyond my control, but it certainly could have been better. But honestly, the more I've been playing Spelunky, the more I find that money is not as much of an issue as it used to be, as long as you have, like, one of either bombs or the Matic or, you know, something along those lines. I would really love to get this snake out of the equation. Yeah. Sorry, not the snake, spider. Out of the equation, so I could throw a bomb up here. Oh, come on. I should have seen that coming, in all honesty. Luckily, we're doing okay from a health standpoint, but physics are, definitely, you know, I mean, here's the deal. I should have known, or should have at least thought of the possibility that I could get hit there. There's nothing wrong with saying that, I think, for sure. We'll throw a rope up here, just, you know, simplify this situation a little bit, allow me to get over here without being at too much risk, although there are a lot of enemies. Like, I could have foreseen that, no question about it. That being said, it was kind of like, it still could have... I just jumped on the spikes. I was really trying to avoid the possible explosion from the powder keg. Really bad at first opening run. Let's fix it up. Okay, I'm kind of glad that one ended. I was not having the best of times. I wasn't having the worst of times, but I certainly wasn't having the best of times on that run. Let's see if we can get a little bit more money, be a little bit more comfortable on this one, because that was kind of crazy. I've been seeing a lot of really weird key seeds lately, too. Thank God that wasn't a daily challenge, by the way. But I've been seeing a lot of weird key seeds. Like, I saw one, like, if you see this treasure chest that was back over here, I probably shouldn't be wasting my time. This is on the Vita version again. I didn't have paste. It was on, like, the second floor, and there was a key there instead of a crate. And all I had to do was, like, pick up a bomb and throw it at exactly the right time. Pretty easy, right? It actually worked out on the first try, so maybe I shouldn't complain, but that was like a 1 in 100 shot. Especially, you know, I only had 3 bombs, so it was totally possible that I would just never make it out of that situation with the Ujedi. But I don't know if maybe they cranked up the difficulty on Spelunky or something while I was gone, or maybe I've just gotten worse, or maybe I've gotten more picky. That's totally possible as well. Maybe now I'm like, oh, the key and the chest are next to each other. Ooh, why would I? Ooh, that's how I sound to myself right now. Let's try to replicate previous success. I'm willing to bet one more on it. Okay, it worked. I'm gonna have to use a rope as well. And then it paid out with 3 ropes. So I would say that that was fucking terrible. But there are some crates in here. And it looks like I can get into that area without using any more bombs. So it was not the smartest idea. If it had worked out with 1 bomb and I didn't have to use even 1 bomb and 1 rope might have been fine. But 2 bombs and 1 rope for 3 ropes is what I would consider be a pretty bunked up trade, so we'll just let those guys hang out. There's more bombs again. That's fine. At least I'm at the starting level of bombs. Not the end of the world yet. Floor's been decent from a financial standpoint, and hopefully it stays that way. And I mean, when we're talking about objectives here, I'm still of the mindset where I'm not necessarily good enough to score attack to the extent that some other prominent Spelunky videographers and streamers do. And that's fine. Don't tell Red Panda Gamer I said that. But I would be thrilled if I could just, like, beat hell again. Every time I beat hell, I'm like, damn, that's pretty awesome still. Doesn't get old. At least it hasn't gotten old yet. But when it does, I will let you know. Or maybe you let me know when it's gotten old. That might be fair, too. So I did use another bomb. Obviously, I'm being a little bit... probably liberal would be the right way to put it with my bomb use. But this is because, you know, bombs tend to be one of the most commonly seen items in shops, and I will always buy them. People always ask me, I should phrase it this way. If you're one of the people that always ask me, like Northernlion, I just got Spelunky, do you have some tips? Yeah, tip number 1, don't ask me for tips. Ask someone who's a little bit better at the game, although I will admit that I do play much better than I used to. But, you know, always take your time on each floor. That was something that Michael A.L. Fox taught me. And I'm still not the best at it, but I'm certainly better than I used to be. I used to never see the ghost, and I would treat it as like a point of personal pride. I'd be like, man, you saw the ghost? You're super slow. I never see the ghost. That's not true anymore, and I do a lot better because I see the ghost. That's indicative of me taking my time on a floor and getting probably more treasure. I'm going to buy the compass here. That's the other tip that I would offer that really changed my Spelunky game recently is... buy more items, like, especially, you know, figure out what items you really enjoy. A lot of them are the same for everybody. You know, compass is particularly useful on the ice caves. Spike shoes are really useful on the ice caves, as well as other areas in the game. Especially if you have the Kapala, then those, I wouldn't say they're a must-have, because the Kapala is good enough to kind of stand on its own, but, yeah, the spike shoe is definitely a big one. And obviously, you know, cape or jetpack is ideal. Typically, you would want... now, apparently there is a way to lower yourself onto those spikes. I'll probably kill myself trying to do it. This would be like tip number 2, I guess. All right, that was actually totally cool. I think it's the first time I've ever done that. Not really comfortable spending another bomb to get through here, so I'm just going to roll with it. 99 times out of 100, I would have just left Monty there, or I would have used a bomb to get him. That was a much smarter way to handle that. But yeah, take your time, and, you know, whenever you get the opportunity to buy things, especially things that, like, can't not be useful, buy them. It's much more valuable for you to have 3 bombs than it is to have 2,700 gold in your inventory. You know, if you get to the black market and you are 2,700 gold short, you can always make it up. If you get all the gold in the black market and you're still 27,000 or 2,700 gold short, you could just use at least 1 or 2 of those bombs and completely get all your money back from your purchase, basically. So I just got that emerald in here. Apart from that, the #1 Spelunky tip that I have, and I hope I don't sound like, oh, I'm the ultimate Spelunky master. By the way, 6 bombs, 9 ropes. Kind of like our own miniature 69 chat/commenters. Just commenters, I guess. There's no chat going on here. But yeah, obviously, like, I throw myself down at the altar of worshiping greater Spelunky players than myself. But yeah, apart from all those that I've mentioned in my limited experience, practice, man. Practice is super important. Don't Allen Iverson me. Just make sure that, you know, the more you play, the more big plays you're going to make, the more chances you give yourself to learn something. I really hope that the Ujat Eye is available on this final floor. There's also a snake pit. That would be like another tip that comes with practice is learn what floors are good and what floors are terrible. At least in my experience, unless you have like a shotgun or something, then snake pits are great, and my skin is crawling. The spider levels are horrible. Good thing the key is on this level. This is always kind of a tricky setup because you never know if the key is going to be in the snake pit or if the key is going to be outside of the snake pit. And oh, there it is right there. That's actually really good. If it's outside of the snake pit, though, you're going to have to do some very creative bomb or matic work to make something happen. But obviously, matic is one of the most important items in the early game, especially. And we're going to make good use of it here. We might have to use a rope. You know, good thing we have 9 of them. And if I could just mine my way through here, we're going to solve a lot of problems for ourselves right away. Might as well take... Oh, there's an altar at the top, isn't there? Or was that on the last level? I think that was maybe on the last level. Sacrificing Monty is another thing that's really served me well. So I should do a lot of mining here. Maybe I'll just take Monty to the exit so I can get out of here and focus on mining for the duration of my time. Monty's just going to walk to the exit there, so that's fine. Nothing wrong with having 8 health, except, you know, maybe I could have put myself a little bit closer to the matic, but shit happens, basically. Let's bust our way out of here and start picking up some sweet gems. Remember, we were fairly short on money coming in here, even if I didn't mention it. You know, we got to get to 50,000 if you don't want to kill shopkeepers. Killing shopkeepers, by the way, totally viable if you're not me. And this matic, matics typically give you, like, I don't know, on the order of several tens of thousands of, come on, of dollars. So, you know, they're usually for sale for substantially less than that. I don't think it's been very rare when I've had a matic that didn't pay for itself, even if it wasn't on a snake pit level. And it's almost, oh, that actually was a really easy altar to get. And it's like almost exclusively been my own fault. Like I've used it far too much for things that were not gems, just to like save myself bomb usage, which is fine. I mean, it is important, I guess, but really important to get gems with it. So we're gonna explore a lot of this floor, and this should allow us to fairly easily get to 50,000. Of course, you know, we don't really have that many great items. Paste is another item that I think is basically a necessity if I'm not going to get... Yeah, I'm not necessarily pleased with using so many matic plays here. You know, I'm not the best matic user. And now I can use a rope to get out. Okay, this is a little scary, but the ghost is coming from this side, so that's okay. I still should have some time to mine. Unless he's coming this way, in which case we're in a very bad situation. But yeah, obviously, you know, Cape Jetpack. I would love to buy something like that on the black market, but in all likelihood, I'm going to have to buy, unless I get a ton of money on the jungle, which we're going to right now, I'm going to have to buy something a little bit more conservative, maybe a combination of, like, spike shoes and paste and more bombs. Never be ashamed of buying more. Oh, the black market is on this level. That's actually pretty bad for us, because I don't have a great opportunity to get a ton of gold, which I otherwise would have. Here's what I'm going to do, because this is going to be a nightmare. I'm going to bust open that right... Oh, the black market's like right around here. I can't quite see it. Seems like I'm getting further away from it. Oh, I think it's down here. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so now let's start getting more gold, basically. Earlier the Matic breaks, obviously the worse this is going to be for us. But, you know, jetpack normally I consider like 80,000 to be the metric that we would need to make that happen. That's pretty unlikely. Might as well take Monty to the exits. There's crates down there. Nothing wrong with picking up more crates. Absolutely. Bust open this, and we should be able to come down here. That guy's going to come back to life. There's actually bees here, which raises an interesting possibility that I'm probably going to choose to ignore. Okay. Don't lose any more health to this idiot. That was really bad. We're at 56,000. That's not even enough for, like, those two fairly conservative items that I already mentioned. But we'll drop off Monty first, because I'm self-conscious about the amount of health that I lost. Take ourselves into the black market. And so far, shaping up to be an okay run. I would always prefer to have more money than this. Shit happens, though. Just don't die to the monkey. Sometimes those guys are a little tricky. Sometimes they're... Oh, shit. That could be awesome. Just see if we can land a bomb. It's worth another try, honestly, but we can get closer. Might as well drop this down. I'm not sure if that's going to help. And we can always take the Matic with us into the black market as well. Here's what I'm thinking. If we just blow these guys up, we can... Oh, no! I freed the queen bee. That's okay. The royal jelly has lived and should just be down below. I'm very hesitant about dealing with, like, more bees, but... Royal jelly. Too much of an awesome item to just avoid picking up. Now, I had to use a lot of ropes to get out of there because I freed the bees, and I'm very scared. Royal jelly, if you were not aware, gives you 4 health. It's not necessarily a super common item, so I can understand where you're coming from if you don't know what it does. Ghost is here. Bees are angry. Got revenge on that man. Let's get the fuck out of here. 10 health, awesome. 62,000 gold, could be better. With the Matic, we might be able to get to cape levels and just hope to get the paste later, I suppose. Now, the black market's been a kind of a sore spot for me lately. Just don't accidentally anger the shopkeepers. That's a definite no-no. There we go. Mostly just be careful. Oh, Matic's broken. That actually might be a good thing, because I could accidentally mine into shopkeeper land and cause myself some problems. So... it's fine. There's spring shoes to gamble. Honestly, gambling's been pretty good for me lately. It's not necessarily the worst option. It's not allowed in daily challenges, so it's kind of fallen away as part of my strategy. So we could definitely buy spike shoes. There's a mystery box. There's spike shoes. I think I mentioned that already. Looks like spike shoes are kind of the order of the day. I would love to be able to buy paste. I think what I'm going to try to do, we'll try to win the spring shoes, but if I get more money, I might buy that mystery box as well. It's just going to go a little too far for me to get those spring shoes. I would love spring shoes as well. If we get more money, we'll buy the mystery box. Maybe we'll get the spring shoes out of this. Otherwise, we're kind of just going to have to go. And this is not a great run right now. We have 0 sacrifices. We do have the Ankh. That's great. The only thing... that's not going to work either. We got one more play on this, and then we're done. The only thing we've really got going for us right now is 11 health, but we're going to have to lose that when we get sacrificed anyway. Or when we sacrifice ourselves. That's going to lose again. Wow, that is really bad luck. That's what I get for gambling. I could have picked up a few extra bombs for that. It's a cautionary tale. And I'm really still not happy about this whole 0 paste situation. That's, like, creating some serious issues for me. And 8 bombs is not enough. Part of that's due to the seed, part of that's probably due to the way that I've been playing the game. If I didn't buy the spike shoes, I could have bought a bomb box, and honestly, that might have been the right way to go. And, of course, the mystery box did have paste, or could have had paste in it. But, I can't really complain about having 10 health, as we have a lot of the jungle left to go. And I love getting the black market out of the way early, because, essentially, I love spike shoes once you're on the jungle. Essentially, that means these next few floors are just free floors. So provided I play somewhat conservatively, it's basically no pressure, or at least it's less pressure than your average Spelunky run, because I don't have to, I've got enough ropes to do this. I don't have to worry about accomplishing any specific objectives. I can just hang out, basically. We do have spike shoes, so we can kill Grandfather Spider. Now we can start with our sacrifices. I should have just whipped him, but that's okay. That's a frog that I don't want to be over here. Oh, but there's so many delicious corpses at the bottom. Could sacrifice the idol. I don't think it's worth it. I'm using ropes instead of bombs because, obviously, we are lower on bombs. Maybe it's not obvious. Maybe that makes me sound like a dickhole. But I want to make sure that I'm saving my bombs, because those are probably more valuable. Although I don't have the climbing gloves, so on the ice caves, could potentially screw myself. It's a complicated balance right now, is basically what I'm getting at. We might be able to snag one item from Kali here. I see a lot of bodies. And it's totally possible, by the way, to get from 0 to... There we go. To get from 0 to Kapala in one floor. Just sacrifice a ton of bodies, and also one Monty, and you can usually, or at least sometimes, make it happen. Depends on a number of factors, the value of each sacrifice, which I'm not 100% familiar with. I'm not going to sacrifice the idol. In fact, I'm not even going to take the idol yet. I just want to make my way over here and see if there's anything else sacrificiable. That's not the way that you say that word. Silly Ryan. This Monty, I don't even think we have to use a bomb to get him. He's going to give us an item for sure. I don't know if he'll be able to give us the Kapala, but obviously Kapala plus Spike Shoes is a dynamite combination. So, we got a major concern here with this weird man. But there's going to be so many enemies that I'm pretty sure we can actually work our way up to the Kapala. It's going to have to be kind of fast, though. Yeah, you just get down there. Here's what I'm going to do. This $10,000 is pretty important for me because I've got so many items left to kind of get. And we're going to sacrifice a lot of dudes before we sacrifice Monty himself. Because... oh, man, this is going to be a really weird time when the ghost comes. Which, of course, is right now. Probably should have taken Monty up first just to get the item. And now I might not even be able to get Monty in all honesty. But probably still try. He is right there. This is going to be a weird floor. It's a good floor. I'm very pleased with it so far. You know, we'll be able to get more boomerang men later. We don't need to worry about that. We got to be very, very close to picking up at least one item. What my reasoning was, and I think it would have worked if... oh, never do what I did there. We're very lucky. What my reasoning was that I didn't want to sacrifice Monty and miss out on the Kapala. Because what could have happened is it, like... maybe we were like 99% of the way to getting the first item, and then we sacrifice Monty, and that just takes us to 100%, and then getting to the Kapala is going to take us forever. I don't know if it necessarily works like that, but I think it's always worth being prudent in a situation like that. But, you know, if I was being prudent, I probably should have just gone straight for the Monty sacrifice, because it obviously ended up being the preferable option. I hate having to do what I just did there. Waste a bomb. It's not really a waste, I suppose, but, you know, spend a bomb in a situation that wasn't necessarily ideal or necessary to spend it, but it certainly made us a lot safer. There's a crate up here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be dealing with this powder keg of bullshit. There's another crate. Oh, it's a teleporter. Okay, well, there's another crate we can fairly easily get, but I don't think it's worth it. Honestly, I've been experimenting with the teleporter a little bit more. I'm not good with it, but I've been using it a little bit. And I could possibly use it again. It's more bombs. So yeah, we'll mess around with this just a touch here. Obviously, the danger is if you teleport yourself into a wall, you will die forever. You also can't take any items back with you, right? So, gotta be a little cautious. I have no idea if there's actually like a methodology towards using this. Like if sometimes it, or if it always pushes you like exactly the same number of blocks. If so, that makes a lot of sense. I'm totally okay with using a rope here to get that boomerang. I think I value that a lot more than the teleporter. I don't think it's going to be possible for me to get that crate easily. So, instead, we'll just leave. This is where it really worries me that I'm using the 360 controller, but I've been playing the Vita version for the last, like, 5 or 6 hours of my Spelunky career because, it's a different button to exit, and it's really important to exit quickly when you're dealing with those tiki traps. That's like tiki trap management #1, basically. That's going to destroy all of these usable blocks, unfortunately. That one's going to be okay. And, mostly we're still just generating gold, but I would love to actually tango a little bit with the jetpack octopus. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, that was not good. That could have easily killed me. But we'll let the boomerang be our sacrifice there. So, a little bit salty about the fact that we still don't have the Kapala. Probably could have made it work if I'd just been a little bit faster. That was frightening. Don't hold your breath. I'm assuming that there was no statue on this level. I believe you only see the statue on levels 2 and 3. I'm still not 100% sure about that, which is pretty embarrassing. There's a statue right there, though, so who cares? As long as I keep not being punished for it, I'll never learn. And let's be honest, I'll probably still never learn regardless. So, there are a couple of dudes that I want to, or a couple of objectives I want to conquer here. A pretty obvious one would be taking Monty to the exit, so we could start with 5 health instead of 4. Another pretty obvious one, taking the idol. Well, it doesn't matter because we're dying on this floor anyway. Taking the idol to the exit, another big one. So we can have a little bit more money to play around with, and just in case we run into another shop, these are going to becoming... They're going to become increasingly less likely to show up. Is the way I wanted to phrase that. What do we have in our crate here? Extra bombs. Glad I took a fairly significant risk there. Please don't fall down the edge. Okay. Oh, this is perfect. So we can actually just throw the idol. It landed perfectly in a situation where it's not going to be too tough for us to make something happen. I don't think I can platform all the way up here. I don't think so. So that was an accident. Throwing that bomb was a total accident, but it's okay. Good thing we have a lot of those now. Now we're actually short on ropes. That's what I get for saying ropes are less valuable. I mean, in most situations, they kind of undeniably are. It's been kind of a weird seed. Am I wrong here? I think I'm right. I'm going to take fall damage here. Might as well just make sure I'm dropping Monty off the exit. Might as well make sure the idol's safe, and then I'll just throw myself to my death, and we will respawn. So, you know, not a great seed. I'd consider that this has been a pretty good run so far. We do have a chance to get to the City of Gold. Without paste, we're going to have a really rough time against Anubis, but we do have enough bombs. I could maybe do some tricky tactics. Spike shoes are going to not be viable for that fight. I don't know if I've ever killed Anubis with spike shoes just by bouncing on his head. It's far too risky, I think. Sure, cool parachute. That actually is valuable. I wouldn't say almost universally, but oftentimes at this point in the game, you already have a... are you serious? Glasses? You already have a... I really thought the parachute was going to have to work there. Why am I gambling for the glasses? Because if we win the glasses, then another item shows up here, and that would be really important for us. Yes, that is like our 6th loss in a row, but I totally forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I was going to say almost universally you have like a cape or a jetpack or climbing gloves by now. I'd say that covers 95% of my runs. Not necessarily cape or jetpack, but climbing gloves are like super ubiquitous. But in this one, you know, sometimes you just get lucky, I guess, and we're kind of on our own. I'm not really shooting for a high score, so I don't necessarily care if I spend all my money doing this. Should be able to at least win back a little bit of our money here. The exit's right there. I mostly just want to win the item. I don't care at all about... Oh, this one might actually be good. I don't care at all about the money. Oh, you can do it! Okay, we'll do one more, and if this one doesn't work, then we'll leave. If I ended up getting the hell on this run, I would consider it a pretty remarkable coup. Well, we're going to win the jackpot here, I think. So I might as well spin one more, because, you know, never quit when you're lucky. Never quit when you're behind, either, because then you only lose the money once you stop gambling. That's probably the mindset that leads to addiction. That's going to be way too fast to get the glasses. So I'd say it's time for us to leave. So, of course, the shop that we run into here is, like, the only shop that I consider to be, like, mostly valueless by this point in the game. Like, literally anything else. Please just let me buy paste. I don't even know if you can get shops in the temple. We'll see, because I'm going to go there. Unless I fall on the spikes here. But, you know, idols at this point are just, like, free score, basically. 72,000 is not a great score to be leaving the ice caves with, but... Oh, we have one more level of the ice caves, so never mind. Please tell me there's another shop on this floor. We could go to the mothership, get the plasma cannon, and mess around with that. Well, that would certainly make killing Anubis a lot easier, but the mothership in and of itself is a goddamn nightmare. Again, especially without, like, a weapon to call our own, or paste. That is going to be a real problem. So there's our exit. It's kind of a minefield, but I guess both literally and figuratively, but should be able to navigate it pretty reasonably safely. Mostly just gonna, yeah, do that, and then we'll be fine. Don't really want that gold bar. We'll just exit. So Anubis is gonna be a real test. A lot of our success here, I'm not giving you 3 ropes, Tunnel Man. A lot of our success here is gonna depend on the placement of Anubis, as well as a little bit of luck. This is usually where a mummy would be, if there was a mummy on this floor. Well, there are mummies, like, on this floor, I'm sure, but if there was a mummy in this area, that's where it would be. Probably should have... Oh, man, there's so many crates there. I am totally okay with, again, using it. Really should have tried to hit the locust with that, or the wasp, whatever this thing is. That's okay. He's going to get disintegrated. Like a Cure album. So we spent a rope and got 3 ropes. I'm contented with that because that other one is, that other crate, I should say, is very tricky to get. This guy's alive for about the next 10 seconds. Obviously, that is Anubis Town population 1 serious asshole. That's not a great bomb, but it's going to open things up. Almost not at all. There we go. Okay, now we just got to throw these at him. Easier than it looks, in all honesty. Just kidding. Alright, here's the tricky part of this. And we'll just keep this up. The worst part is I don't even know if I've hit him once yet. Okay, now I've hit him once for sure. I really thought that might do it. We're going to dip down low. Blow up that tiki trap. That was an accident. And I blew myself up. God damn it, but that was tough! You gotta give me that at least. Well, I didn't get to the City of Gold. I died against Anubis. I still consider that a pretty positive run. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider showing your support with a like or a comment, or just hanging out and saying hi. I appreciate views as well. Who doesn't in this day and age? I was gonna say your mom, but that wouldn't make sense because I was trying to crack a joke that she's like some kind of sex worker or a stripper or something. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with that, except when your mom's doing it. In any case, as always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the series and this episode in particular. Of course, as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.